Welcome to the AB Transition Plan Forum for Putnam City Schools. We have gathered some of district leadership today to answer some of your most asked questions. We have 21 questions that have been submitted from parents that we will be going through and answering. And we want you to know that as this process continues and we transition to an AB plan, we know that there will be ongoing questions, and we will continue to try to answer those in several different forums. We hope to have another communication event like this as we get closer to our transition date and answer even more questions, because we know that as we go, there will be more questions that you all develop. We do want to remind you that we are constantly updating our website, putnamcityschools.org. There is a return to learn page and a COVID-19 page where you can find resources there. We're also posting things to social media. I would like to let you meet some of my colleagues today. We'll begin with our superintendent. If you all want to go around and introduce yourselves.
Sure. I'm Fred Rhodes, Superintendent for Putnam City Schools.
Next up, Scott.
Scott McCall, Executive Director of Special Services.
Barb.
Barb Crump, Executive Director of Elementary Education.
Shelley.
Shelley Roper, Executive Director of Secondary Education.
So each person will be specifically answering questions that were submitted that have to do with the department that they are the head of. So the first question, we'll jump right in. We have Trudy from Wiley Post, who submitted this question. She says, what do you mean by orange to phase or orange to level?
Well, thanks for that question. Across the country, we find different states following different models. There's what's called the Johns Hopkins model, the Harvard model. Oklahoma came up with our own model that is a county by county color code system. Starts with green, and that would be if everything was perfectly normal, and then yellow, and then orange 1, orange 2, and red. Oklahoma County has been in orange 1 for several weeks. There was 1 week that we dipped down to yellow, but we're back to orange 1. However, this is Friday afternoon. You're probably going to be viewing this on Monday, but we just learned that Oklahoma County is now in orange 2. So we have a county by county color code system based on the number of positive cases of the virus in each county. As Putnam City School District, we actually thought it was a great idea, and there was a lot of logic in looking at county by county system as opposed to classifying every county in the state the same. So the county by county color code system was then taken by the State Department of Education to come up with some guidelines for schools. So that's what we are following. I might add, there are several websites that our state different organizations post different information. There's the State School Board Association, there's the County Health Department. I'll tell you that the one that I go to that I have found very easy to navigate that really gives a lot of good information is the Oklahoma State School Board Association's website, and it's ossba.org. They update that. It also gives, what I really like to look at is each county and how it compares from each week. So what do we mean by orange phase 1? That's where we get that information.
And I have to say, we wanted to do this event a live recording so that it would be true to life. And so in true to life, I have forgotten to let someone introduce themselves. And I want to make sure that parents know who this is, because this person is responsible for your child having the device in their hand that they do, and is in charge of all of our IT. And I can't say enough good things about what the IT department has done during this transition. You can imagine with device distribution and getting iPads in the hands of all of our students, what a huge job that is. So I apologize. Corey, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Charity. My name is Corey Boggs. I'm the Executive Director of Information Technology and also oversee enrollment.
Which are two huge factors in all of this as we continue to transition, and we can't thank them enough for what they've done. Question number 2, Maria from Rollingwood says, will they be in uniform? And if so, can I have the dress code, please?
Hi, Maria. Yes, Rollingwood is a uniform school, and so I would encourage you to contact the principal, Ms. Miller, or one of the secretaries to find out exactly what you are needing for the uniform and what that dress code would look like for Rollingwood for this coming year.
Thanks, Barb. Our next question is for Corey, so it's great that he's introduced himself now. Shannon from Putnam City North would like to know, will the iPads need to be transported to and from school? Corey?
Yes, we do want students to bring their iPads every day. We just ask that they bring them charged, and so they're ready to go for school.
Our next question is from a parent that would like to know, will students' temperatures be taken upon entering the building? Scott, we're going to let you answer this one.
What we're asking to happen is that parents are partnering with Putnam City to take temperatures at home before they load the bus or transport them to school. Also, in addition to monitoring at home for temperature, we ask parents to be monitoring for all symptoms related to COVID. And with that, any student who has a fever over 100, we're asking them they would stay home per district policy. We did buy additional thermometers for each school site this year. So if a student needed to have a temperature taken, they could go to the school clinic to have that done.
Thanks, Scott. Our next question is from Megan at Rollingwood, who would like to know, will breakfast happen, and is after school care, or what they call at Rollingwood rocket landing, which is after school, are those happening?
Hey, Megan. Yes, breakfast will be served at school for the students on their AB schedule. And as far as rocket care, I ask that you contact Rollingwood to find out if they are going to have that program available. So that will be a site decision.
Shelley, do you want to interject some about secondary lunches here?
Breakfast will be happening at all secondary sites, as well as lunch. Social distancing will be in place to assure the safety of our students.
Thank you both. Our next question is a parent from Putnam City who says, do parents need to enroll their child again for the AB schedule? Corey?
Nope, everything is good to go. There's nothing that parents will need to do for that. They'll be assigned in a group and we'll let them know.
And you've got a few questions here back to back, Corey, so I'm going to turn to you again for this next question. This is Heather from Wiley Post, and she asked, does this eliminate the 100% virtual option that some parents chose at the beginning?
Right. So any students that are in our Putnam City virtual program, they will remain in that program. There's nothing you need to do. Anybody who has concerns about returning from distance learning can contact their school principal to discuss possible options.
So obviously you can see now the importance of Corey's role, because not only does he do IT, he also is in charge of the enrollment department. So lots of questions regarding that too. The next question is for you again, Corey. How will we know what group our children are in?
Right. So families will be notified via email. We're also working on a widget for our website where families will be able to put in their address, and it will tell them if they're in either the A or B group. Teachers will also have that information and can provide that to students as well.
Okay, our next question comes from Coronado. It's a parent named Brenda. Brenda asks, will there be dividers between the children inside the classroom, and what is the class size?
Hi, Brenda. As far as dividers, there will not be dividers in the classroom, but since we are going to a 50% classroom capacity, gives the teacher plenty of room to separate the desks so that we can ensure social distancing within the classroom. And then with the class size, again, it will differ on different classes, but we are maintaining that at a 50% capacity.
Our next question comes from Jennifer, a parent at Putnam City North, and she asked, will the buses run during the week on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday when school is in session? And she also commented, hopefully masks will be required on buses as well as in school. Dr. Rhodes, I'll let you answer this one.
The answer is yes. When we start the AB schedule on Monday, October the 26th, buses will run on Monday and Tuesday for the A group and Thursday and Friday for the B group. And then I don't think it's a question, but we'll go ahead and comment on that. As far as masks being worn, yes, masks will be required on the bus as well as in the school.
Thank you, Dr. Rhodes. Our next question is from a Putnam City High parent, Alexandria, and she wants to know, how are we being grouped, referring to the A and B groups?
Sure. Our goal is to keep families together. We think it would be quite confusing for a family to have multiple children and they'll be on a different schedule. So our goal is to keep families on the very same schedule. We're looking at a couple of things. Some school districts divide by last name alphabet. Some districts are also looking at and have been dividing by neighborhoods. So that's an option that we're really seriously considering, is looking at neighborhoods. That will help with some transportation issues, but also do our best to divide by the 50% that we're hoping to accomplish with the AB schedule.
Thank you, Dr. Rhodes. Our next question is an elementary school parent named Tiffany, and she says, how will lunch be dealt with and how will recess be done?
Each site will have specific procedures and information on lunch and recess. We do want kids to have recess and be able to enjoy some outdoor time. So they will schedule that according to, again, safety protocols. And then lunch will be served every day. And again, that will look different for every site depending on the size and social distancing.
Thanks, Barb. Our next question comes from a parent at DDK, but I know it is a question of both elementary and secondary students. Jennifer at DDK asked, is there a supply list?
Yes, there is a supply list on every elementary and secondary school website. So you can check that website, and you can also contact the school if you have any questions or need any assistance with that.
Thank you, Barb. Our next question comes from Kim. Kim asked, and she's a secondary parent, are they going to stagger passing periods?
So thank you for your question, Kim. At the middle school, core classes will be staggered by teams and electives will be staggered by grade levels. So there will be social distancing. At the high school level, we can't stagger passing time because all the classes have different students. Each student has a unique schedule. But what we will do is for halls that can be one way, they will be one way, and the other halls will be two-way traffic, similar to a road that you drive down. One side's for going one way, one side's for going the other way.
Lots of new practices to encourage social distancing everywhere. Our next question is from Brittany, who's a Putnam City North parent. And she asked, if siblings are both in the same school, will they be on the same schedule?
That is absolutely our goal. Yes, if you're in the siblings in the same family, our goal is for them to be on the same schedule.
Our next question is from a parent at Arbor Grove, and she's wondering, will lunches be served for those on virtual days at home?
The answer is yes. If you look at the AB schedule, students will be, if you're an A student in that category, you will be attending on Monday and Tuesday, but you'll be having your in-person learning at home, basically at home learning. And on those days, yes, you will be able to have meals provided just like we're doing now.
And I do want to take this opportunity to brag on our child nutrition department, who has done a fantastic job of feeding kids throughout this situation. So we do thank them for their hard work and all that they are doing. And if you need more information on the options that they have for the weekly pickup and other things, that's all found on our website too. So to our next question, what will be the deciding factor in resuming full-time distance learning? A certain percentage of increase in overall cases, a certain number of active cases in each school? This is from Kim at Putnam City High.
Very good question. District-wide, we are currently in distance learning. You all know that we started the school year that way. So once we go to an AB schedule, obviously we have students that are coming to the school, 50%. So what would determine if we go back to a distance learning for all students and no students physically coming to the school? And that would be if we reach the orange 2 or red category. We go by the county by county color code alert system. So if we were in orange 2 or red, we would go back to distance learning, which we're in now until October 26th. The second part of that question is very important. What would happen if we had a school where we had a large percentage where we had an outbreak and we had a lot of positive cases of the virus? Then we could look at and would look at the option working very closely closely with our county health department. We get a lot of advice from them as far as tracing and that kind of thing. And so we could find ourselves in the situation where we would need a school, an entire school or a classroom to go to distance learning, even though we as a school district are following the AB model.
Thank you, Dr. Rhodes. Our next question comes from a parent at Dennis Elementary, and they are wanting to know, do they use hand sanitizer or are they washing hands for lunch and bathroom use?
Yes, that question's for me. So yes, it'd be both of those. We know that in addition to social distancing and wearing a mask, hand washing is one of the very best things that we can do. Our teachers will be proactive in teaching students to wash throughout the day, including before lunch and after using the restroom. In addition to hand washing, the district is will also be providing wall-mounted hand sanitizer and mobile hand sanitizing stations. We're asking parents to create a habit of hand washing at home by creating routines for your children to do that. And one of the ways to learn how to properly wash your hands is to watch the video posted on our Facebook page that was created by our very own Putnam City nurses demonstrating the proper techniques to wash your hands.
Very good. Thank you, Scott. Another department too that's been, everyone has been extremely busy, but we especially thank Health Services too for their work during this time. And our next question is from Huber, who is a parent at Apollo Elementary. And Huber wants to know, will elementary age students be required to wear a mask inside their classroom?
Hi, Huber. That's a great question. I know everybody is always concerned about whether their child needs to wear that mask or not. And so, yes, mask will be required in the school, but there will be many opportunities for the students to take masks breaks throughout the day. So if they're out on the playground or if the teacher feels like a break needs to be taken so that kids can have that opportunity to take the mask off for a little bit. But overall, yes, a mask will be required anytime a student is in the building.
Thank you, Barb. And our last question, what would need to happen to go back to school 5 days a week in the classroom? Dr. Rhodes, will let you answer this one.
We so look forward to that day. Again, looking at the county by county color code system, you start with green and then yellow and orange 1, orange 2, and red. For Putnam City School District to go back to 5 days student in-person learning for 100% of our students, we would need to be in yellow 3 weeks in a row, 3 consecutive weeks. So we hope that day comes soon. Right now, today, it doesn't look like that's going to happen for a while, but we would need to be 3 consecutive weeks of being in yellow.
Very good. And I'm going to let Dr. Rhodes give us a few closing comments too.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you all for asking questions, submitting those questions. Please continue to submit questions. We have several weeks before October the 26th, and we will be learning more. This presentation may prompt some other questions. So please continue to ask those questions and we'll do our best to give good answers.
And we know that you will have the ongoing questions. We will continue to update the website. You may have questions for your principals too. And many of those questions can be directed to your principal. Several things that are site specific. If you have questions about continuing distance learning, or you are feeling like you are not ready to transition to an AB schedule for your child, I would encourage you to contact your principal and they can help you more with that. But we thank you for joining us today, and we'll continue to keep you all, keep answering your questions and keep you in the loop on communication as we go through this process. Thanks for being with us.